everyone, welcome to our podcast Aqua Talks presented by MANAGE-FISHub. I'm Dr. Nivita Sige. In this platform, we are going to bring you inspiring stories, innovations, impact-driven startups from the aquaculture and fisheries ecosystem. Today's episode, we are going to explore about Eruvaka Technologies, a company that's bringing smart aquaculture, more efficient, data-driven to the farmers. I'm delighted to host Mr. Kunal Chaudhary, the CEO of Eruvaka Technologies today. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about the Eruvaka Technologies company. What is all about?
So Eruvaka is a technology company, as you can see from the name. It basically focuses on shrimp farmers. We make IoT and AI-based equipment which helps farmers, shrimp farmers in particular, maximize their profit and manage risk. How do we do this? Is through an ecosystem of product. So we have a smart feeder, which is called Pond Mother. It helps in automatic feeding in shrimp ponds. We have Shrimp Talk, which is an AI-based device which is able to understand, let's say, the language of shrimp and translate that into a feed advice. We have a product called Pond Logs, which helps us monitor all the farms, the ponds, what is going on, manage all these devices, and give the right information and insights to the farmer to take the right decision at the right time. And we have a fourth product called Pond Guard, which, as the name suggests, guards the pond. It kind of always keeps in check what is the environmental condition, the temperature, oxygen, to make sure that the environment of the shrimp is well guarded. This whole ecosystem then helps the farmer not only produce efficiently, but also optimize costs, increase output, so maximize their profits. And also, because it's livestock, it's prone to diseases. Any change in the animal behavior can be sent as an information, and the farmer can go and check if there's an intervention needed, and he can manage any biological risk before it occurs. And we do this in 12 countries across the world. We have more than 55,000 devices deployed over close to 45,000 hectares globally.
So it clearly shows how the innovations can making the aquaculture in a modern way. So can you explain how Eruvaka products ecosystems works and how it is unique in compared to the traditional feeding system? What is all of it?
Yeah, so traditionally in shrimp farming, well, a few years ago, about, let's say 7 to 8 years, 10 years ago, there was no automation. So traditional feeding was more focused on manually feeding or throwing the feed in the pond, and the shrimp grew and then they harvested, the normal cycle. Now there are two challenges with this approach. First, the animal, the shrimp itself. The shrimp is an animal which needs to eat every 45 minutes to 1 hour. But as you can imagine, the feed is thrown by a labor, and the labor is only available 3, 4 in very good, efficient farms, maybe 5 times a day. So what was happening is they were throwing all of this feed, which is needed in a whole day, in 5 intervals, not necessarily equally. So that introduced this problem of underfeeding and overfeeding. Sometimes you throw the feed, it's not enough for the shrimp, then the animal will not intake the feed, it will not grow properly, or it might also die out of starvation. And even a bigger crime is overfeeding. If you throw that feed and it goes unconsumed, first, it's expensive feed, so that is literally money thrown into the water which did not get consumed. And second is, if it starts rotting, it is not consumed by the animal, it starts destroying the pond bottom and the water quality, which then in turn leads to bacterial growth, more diseases, and can destroy the whole population. So this was the first challenge. The second challenge is, shrimp is an animal which grows in brackish water. Any other animal farmer can see their animals, see what they're doing, they're drinking, eating or not, but shrimp grows in brackish water. You cannot see with naked eye what is happening under the water. So this exaggerates this problem of overfeeding or underfeeding. And feeding is almost 50 to 60% of the cost of producing shrimp. So this was highly suboptimal. So we introduced automatic feeding, so the farmer could program the feed and can theoretically dispense feed 24 hours. That improved the growth rates of the shrimp, the survival rates, and shrimp farmers went from doing 2 cycles to now they even do 4.5 cycles. So their output in a year doubled or tripled in some cases. But there was another problem. There's a thing called FCR in animals, so factor of conversion. That was still not very precise because we were not asking the animal how much feed it needs and when it needs. It was the farmer feeding through experience. So then came our product called Shrimp Talk, which is a combination of few AI-based algorithms, and it just listens to the shrimp. It's like a drive-through. The shrimp drives into the restaurant, talks to the microphone, says this is the amount of feed I need. I need at this time and this quantity. The shrimp talk algorithms convert this into a feed advice, tell this to the feeder and the feed dispenses. So this optimized feeding. This also brought down the FCRs and production costs. So a combination of those ecosystem increased your output, decrease your cost, and also manage the risk. So that's how it's different from traditional systems.
Of course, it clearly shows that the real differences between the traditional one and so how scalable is the technology? How can be it adapted to the different systems? And how can you improve the support and training for the adoption to the farmers?
Our system, as I told you, we're already doing it in 12 countries. So we have seen all types of farming systems. So it's pretty scalable across different types of genetics of shrimp, across different types of farming, along with different types of feed and farming systems. So it works well in small farms or small ponds, like in Asia, 1 acre ponds, half a acre pond, to as big as multi-hectare ponds in South America. So it's pretty scalable that way. And what we also do is when we go to new markets, we also invest a lot in digital literacy and training of farmers. We also support a lot of local youth in the technification of the farms. We educate them, so that ensures that this adoption is smooth and is also sustainable in the long term.
Yeah, of course. The support and training is very crucial for the adoption of the technology.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now tell me, what has been the key results observed by the farmers in terms of the growth and feed conversion ratio and the waste reduction? What's that?
We've been doing this for more than 10 years. So we have been able to demonstrate measurable impact for the farmers. Every year we get close to 20,000 cultures, harvest results. On an average, what we have seen, especially in countries where we have been more than 3, 4, 5 years, there we have seen a significant increase in growth rate of the shrimp, which has gone up by 15 to 20%. The FCRs have reduced by about 12 to 20%. Survivals have also increased by 10 to 15%. So that, as I already explained before, right, this also helps in increasing the number of cycles in a year. What has also happened, if you look at the biomass, so now that people have technology to optimize production, they're also increasing densities. So trying to produce more with same or minimal. So they have also been able to double or triple the biomass which was harvested from the same land. So this resulted in, depending on geographies, reduction in cost of production anywhere from 15 to 25%, an increase in profits for the farmers anywhere from 30 to 50%, depends. These are now production KPIs. But what also happens, and what is also crucial in this age that we are living, is our environment. So we also ensure a positive impact on the environment because our ecosystem helps produce more with less. There's no feed wastage. We are not harming the environment. In fact, now when you go to our core geographies like Ecuador, Mexico, especially Ecuador, where people always needed more land to produce shrimp, they are now planting mangroves, bringing the nature back because they don't need more land. They're using less resources. So the resource efficiency of using resources has increased. We are producing more with less. Carbon emission reductions are down by 10 to 30%. So it is not only that they are making more money, they are also giving back to the environment and growing sustainably.
Yeah, it's really created a huge impact in terms of the growth and everything. Okay, so that sounds great. So how do you see the role of automations in shrimp aquaculture over the next few years? Any closing thoughts?
So the role of technology will be extremely crucial. The reason is if we look a bit into the future, so by 2050, the population of our planet will be close to 10 billion people. A lot of these people will need protein in their diets. That roughly translates into 56% more than we can produce today on our planet. And as you can see, there's not enough land left to produce this 56% more protein. So where will this come from? This will come from aqua. But if you look at our natural fisheries, they're already at the brink. So the governments are protecting them. So the solution is aquaculture. So fish farming, shrimp farming in ponds, and there of putting all our money behind shrimp, because shrimp is an animal which is highly nutritious. It has a lot of minerals, vitamins, good qualities, and nutritionally it is very strong. It has a very low impact on the environment, as I explained. So definitely the shrimp will be the answer to feed the future. But for the shrimp to be able to fulfill its mission in the food and nutrition security, the shrimp farmer has to succeed. Today, shrimp farmer in the whole value chain of shrimp takes the most risk, whether that is credit risk, whether that is diseases, crop risk, volatility in shrimp prices, is a lot. And the only way for the shrimp farmer to succeed is, of course, good nutrition, good genetics of the animal, good farm practices, but also good technology. If today there's no margin for error anymore, the shrimp prices are very volatile, there's less buffer, so technology enables to give you that buffer to remain profitable, to remain sustainable. It helps you take the right decision at the right time, so there's no margin for error anymore. It helps you manage. It does not, at least technology today cannot help cure diseases, but it helps you manage risk or intervene in the right time. So technology will be the biggest enabler in making shrimp farmer successful in the future, and the future is for digitally enabled connected farms which are more sustainable and environment friendly.
It sounds very practical.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
for people listening this podcast,
Sure.
how can they reach your company, Eruvaka Technologies? Is there any websites, like any LinkedIn pages, anything like that?
So anyone who wants to get in touch can get in touch through our website, eruvaka.com. And we also have a LinkedIn page. We are also there on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find the links over in these two sources.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your
Thank you.
inspiring and innovation idea with us. Really, your company Eruvaka shows how the modern technologies can incorporate to reduce the risk and to increase the productivity and to provide the excellence in terms of the growth, in terms of farmers' sustainability, everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So this is Aquatalks
Thank you.
podcast presented by MANAGE-FISHub. We brings you inspiring stories, innovations and impact-driven startups from the aquaculture and fisheries ecosystem. Until the next episode, this is Niveda Sige signing off. Thank you for watching.